Metal Up World, this is CJ with CJOrtiz.com and mentalmotivation.com. This is the first of a new 5-message series I'm doing on working hard or hardly working. Now, this is all shown in my Life Domination Coaching Program, which is something I'd love for you to join. I'll tell you more about that at the end of this video. Working hard or hardly working. No matter what it is you're facing, I can venture to say that probably the best solution is still going to be hard work. And people get a little leery about that phrase. They want to slot it into the category of being a workaholic. I've often been referred to as a workaholic. I'm not a workaholic. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you mean by that. Anything great is going to come as the result of hard work. And anything that's serious, that's in need of change in your life, is only going to happen by hard work. But I think in the kind of world in which we live in, when you can have a microwave dinner in just a few minutes, we can get to that sort of mindset where we expect everything to come instantly. We expect everything to come quickly. In fact, children born now after the year of the first smartphone, think of the kind of world they live in. They grow up now with things like Alexa and Siri and smartphones and all of this. Everything is touch and instant and quick, and my goodness, man. I mean, what are their expectations going to be? Hard work is always going to be a necessary part of creating anything great or solving any major problem. But what I often find is that people don't really have that sort of attitude. Sure, some of them do, or maybe they have that attitude in just a particular area and it's not comprehensively applied. What's your attitude about work? You know, when I grew up, my dad was a very hard worker. He was an immigrant from Ecuador, hence the last name Ortiz. He was an immigrant from Ecuador, and he worked his way up to being the head of the repair and maintenance of the machinery of a large contracting corporation in New York City, the kind of companies that would lay the pavement of Fifth Avenue, for example. And he worked for them and was celebrated and had a tremendous amount of responsibility and did very well for himself, was very successful in what he did. Now, he loved his kids, and he was a good dad as far as that goes, but he was very heavy-handed, very old school when it came to trying to instill that same work ethic in me and my brothers. So when we would go to visit him, for example, during the summer, of course, we've been working in school all year. We're ready to take the summer off and have a good time. We'd be in bed, and it was not uncommon for him to be ringing the phone at the house at like 6:37 in the morning, getting all of us out of bed and sending us outside and with shovels to go dig ditches. For some reason, he liked for us to dig ditches. And so we would complain about that, obviously, as kids. Now, it's not, anything unheard of for someone to have grown up maybe on a farm or in certain circumstances where your parents made you work hard. Well, you learn a work ethic. Now, even though I fought against what my father was trying to instill in me at the time, I now find out years removed I'm very much like my father. Now, the coin didn't drop till much later in my life. It took a particular spiritual conversion, if you will, in my early 20s to kind of rock me out of my years of rebellion and get me on a path to progress. And it took 2 years of summer school to get me out of high school because I failed miserably in school, not because I couldn't do it, but because I wouldn't apply myself. It was the early 80s, and man, I was out there to party and play in bands and do all of that. So I forsook those things. Again, I was fully able, but I forsook them. But then again, after my experiences and the radical changes in my life and then getting married and having kids, I realized, man, you can't pay the bills with that kind of outlook. You can't pay the bills with that kind of attitude. So I began to change. And the change was radical, man. I went from somebody, again, who barely got out of high school to now having a large library and, try to do my best to be well-read and understand things. So something changed in me. And if there's anything that I would say has been the key factor to any progress in my life, it's been the attitude about work. You are either working hard or you are hardly working. So if we're not willing to put in the effort, if we're not willing to do the work to create the kind of results or outcomes we want, why do we express such disappointment over false and failed expectations. When things don't turn out as you like, you just sort of blame the circumstances. You blame your gender. You blame your race. You blame the president. You blame other people, whatever it may be. You put the blame elsewhere when maybe that blame needed to be placed squarely upon yourself. Now, we should be able to do that without condemning ourselves. I have no problem accepting the fact that I am my own biggest problem, because that also tells me I'm also my own best solution. I believe that's the same for you. You may be your own biggest problem, but you're also your best solution. So we can't have great expectations for the great results if we're not willing to put in the time and the effort to do the work. You're either working hard or you're hardly working. And so for me now, at the ripe age of 52 years in 2019, I'll be 53 here in a couple of months. To be that age and to look back on my life, I have to say there was two things that were imperative to progress. One, as I described, was the work ethic, the learning to work hard. And second was the vision of my heart. And when I say vision of my heart, I mean the belief of possibility, that there are sure principles in this world to achieve any great thing, and that I am able to apply those things consistently and find the solutions that will work for me, and that I can achieve what it is I set out to achieve if I'm willing to do the work for it. So as we talk throughout this series, this 5-message series, I'm going to talk about those two things, how important it is and how they work together. Having that vision, because that's what's going to fuel the work ethic, and then having that consistent work ethic, that willingness to work hard, to go the extra mile, so to speak. Those two things together can create tremendous results, tremendous outcomes in your life. So I want you to be inspired. I want you to be moved. I want you to be motivated to work even harder this year than you've ever worked before. Not busyness, not stressful, I'm talking about enjoying the process. You can enjoy the work you do when you have the vision behind it. When you attach the right vision, the right outlook to that work ethic, work can be pleasurable. And if anything, it's hard to turn it off, and that's why people have referred to people like me as workaholics. Well, they must not enjoy work very much, and that's why they call people like me that. Well, if I'm a workaholic, then leave me be. I have no desire to change it. I'll spend time with my loved ones. I don't let that. I've been like this my whole adult life, and I have never neglected my children. I've never missed a practice. I've never missed a recital. I've coached their teams. I've never missed a holiday, never missed a special event, never missed a parent-teacher conference, never missed anything with them. Birthdays, nothing. You can do it. There's a way to do it if you're willing to pay the price. So all this week I'm talking about working hard or hardly working. Now, as I said at the outset, this is all shown in my Life Domination online coaching program, which again is something I would love for you to join if you're ready to get out of your rut, if you're ready to start making changes in your life finally. You want to get your health together. You want to get your finances together. Man, you're tired of feeling the way that you feel. You want to get your emotions under control. Your thoughts are running crazy. You're confused all the time, don't know what to do with yourself, can't find purpose or direction for your life. This is what the Life Domination Coaching Program is all about. It's an easy way, a daily way to get you from where you are to where you need to be, to make a new start, a new beginning, to take control of your life again. So since I can't meet with everybody one-on-one, this is the way I'm going to solve the problem. In 2015, I started the Life Domination Coaching Program. It's a fee-based Facebook program. So it's something that happens inside Facebook in a private Facebook group, which I administrate. In there are other people just like you, motivated people trying to make a difference in their life. Now, it's video-based, so I show each new series in the group Monday through Friday, and you also have access to the complete archives of videos already done in the group. And we're, hundreds and hundreds of videos done on over 175 different topics. It's awesome. So you're going to have access to the complete archive plus every new series done in the group. And again, since it is done in Facebook, you can do the whole thing on your phone. So it's like having a university in your pocket. All of that for under $20 a month, no contract. You can quit anytime. How does that sound? Well, listen, if you're interested, you can learn more about it by visiting the link below, metalmotivation.com/life domination coaching. This is CJ, the Metal Motivator. And remember, in whatever you do, don't suck metal up.